board meeting, 7 o'clock, Monday, November 8th, 2021. Like roll call of officers.
We have Pete Anzia, Roseanne Dye, Victor Locato, Don Gotcher, Sarah Heisler, Rose Sowers, and Dan Wolf present.
Open meeting compliance check.
Yes, we are compliant.
Can we all please stand for a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we'll have 10 minutes of public input, 2 minutes per person. Anyone have anything to say?
How much are the taxes gonna be raised?
Is everything in yet, Vicky?
Yeah, hold on, it's, I believe, 1.2. Uh, 1.25%, which is, I think it's an extremely minimal amount per thousand. It ends up being like pennies.
Does it answer your question?
So what's the biggest change from last year?
I mean, everything is going up. I mean, our insurance is going up, everything is going up. Wages went up, everything went up. Any other questions? Okay, we'll move on to the Belgium Area Chamber of Commerce report.
Hi, everybody. Few things to go through. First of all, this week we have Celebrate Belgium coming up, and that's our annual awards banquet. So we've pre-announced the awards, so it's okay if I do them up for the actual banquet on Wednesday. But just wanted to congratulate our volunteers for the year. For Distinguished Service Award, we're awarding that to Don Gotcher. We are giving a Lifetime Service Award to the family of Clem Gottsacker. The Business Improvement Award is going to Luxembourg Cafe. Our Ambassador of the Year is Stephanie Rammel. We're giving a new award called the Community Special Recognition Award to the Cedar Grove Belgium School District. And our Business of the Year is Piper Whale Improvement. So congratulations to all of those businesses and individuals and groups. We have a lot to celebrate this year, and we're excited to celebrate with everybody on Wednesday. Also, our European Christmas events are coming up, so you guys can watch our Chamber Facebook page for all the details. But in a nutshell, we're continuing some of the activities we did during COVID. So there will be a Belgium gift giving tree that we will start promoting probably next week. That's where you can buy gifts for local families. We're doing a holiday spirit contest, so lights on your house kind of thing, to win a $100 cash prize. And we are having a magical mailbox that goes directly to the North Pole, delivered to the Belgium Post Office next week, I think, whenever November 15th is, yes. Then we have our Christmas parade, which is going to be Sunday, December 5th at 4:30. Everybody's welcome to participate. There's no cost to participate. So if you have a business or a group that would like to be a part of that, you can sign up on our website or on our Facebook page. And then after the parade, we're gonna have activities down here in the village square. So there's gonna be wagon rides by Beekler Farms. We're doing a chamber chili cook-off with a bunch of local restaurants. There'll be live music. The LECS is gonna be filled with kids' activities and visits with St. Nick, and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So hopefully you guys will come down for that. And is the Centennial a separate item or should I?
No.
Okay. And just to give you guys an update on the Centennial activities, which if you are not aware, next October is Belgium Centennial. So a few different things, I just thought I'd pass these out. We've been working on logos for banners. You wanna send those down the way there? So this is what our committee came up with. We're working with a designer named Kevin Kosterman and came up with a banner that could go on the main street and also like a simplified logo that could be used on websites and banners, advertising, wherever else we need a simpler logo. So the idea behind the banner is the design of it is it has the same font that's used in the Village of Belgium's logo. It has that same swoosh incorporated into it. The bottom of the banner will have a sponsor name, and we thought it would look best if that would, all the sponsor names are just logos in black. So there's nothing that, you know, is too flashy or anything. Then also it says 100 years in Belgium. That's kind of what we're gonna call the Centennial. And we had quoted out banners that were 2 feet wide and 5 feet long. So the cost of that is, and this was a while ago that I had this quoted, so I'll just throw this out there that it might be a little different. But it was $75 plus freight. And then I don't know if you want to talk about brackets, Pat, or no, but
Go ahead.
Pat's been working on brackets to put them up, and it looks like they might cost, again, depending on what the actual cost come in at, somewhere around $52, right? Yes, okay. There's like 46 posts, so it would be up to you guys to decide how many of those posts we want to have this Centennial banner. But you can't put a flag and a banner on a post. So that's my report. Do you have any questions?
One question, do you know what the parade route is?
Oh, for the Christmas parade?
Yeah.
Everybody liked it being a Main Street parade last year, but we wanted it to end as close to Village Square as we could. So we're gonna try having it start at Community Park and actually head down this way to, I think we're looking at ending it around Dean Road. And then if people want to continue down here with their float, they can. And if they want to disperse, they can disperse, you know, turning like down Park Street.
Okay, thank you.
There's a sample of the banner bracket there that would just be put into the existing Christmas tree bracket. So
Can you hold it up for us, please?
I'll let you hold it up. I don't want to break it.
So just a bracket that we need, and then the sample bracket of a Rocky Warrior, I'm sorry. But it's just adjustable, so it's adjustable to like just under 4 feet to just over 5 feet, so.
And this is a little
banners.
smaller than the 5 feet, right?
Yeah, so in the future, if the village ever wanted to go with a different banner, we can just adjust it or change the size, whatever, then it just, then the hooks, we'll just go right into the Christmas tree bracket. Do the same bracket.
Okay, thank you.
Pat, how much does that bracket weigh approximately?
A lot less than the Christmas brackets.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good to know.
20 pounds.
Well, less than the Christmas brackets
Yep.
really answers my question. Thank you.
Anything else?
Is this good to go? Do you guys have any thoughts on how many we should,
I think that's nice.
how many we should do?
You said there's 46 posts.
Yeah, but just remember, we won't be able to put a flag up with them, so. It was up all the time.
The idea was to.
You thinking every other one, maybe?
I was just gonna say, what about like every other one?
Yeah.
I don't know if we still want the, we typically put the American and the Luxembourg flag up. Every other one, so.
Maybe do a banner, then do like a Lux flag, another banner, and then an American flag, you know, kind of do it that way. Or no? No, good,
So it'd be
yeah.
about, we'd be looking at like 14. Is that about 14 then? Do every third? 15?
15 and a third.
Okay.
Around that 16.
What's the board's wishes?
I mean, do we wait and see how many people really want to sponsor a thing and then kind of maybe go from there? Or do we want to get as many, is the goal to get as many people to sponsor it?
But.
You know what I mean? Like, do we want to get as many people to sponsor it?
We can put up the banners without sponsors, right? We
Well, I
don't-
think it will not be a problem to get enough.
The intention is
sponsors.
for the.
Right, but do you want to have more, because what if more people want to sponsor and now we're like, no, we're gonna put a flag up instead? Do you know what I mean?
Right. I think they'll go quickly, but there are other opportunities next year. One thing I didn't mention is the other committees. So we are still working on a historical walking tour. There could be some sponsorship opportunities there. There's sponsorship opportunities with events. We are working on some events for the actual weekend of the Centennial, which is the first weekend in October. There's some other events throughout the summer. So it's not like there might be other sponsorship opportunities, but it's split to you guys, whatever you.
When do you want the banners up by? Sorry.
I think we had originally talked about maybe after you guys take the Christmas ones down, trying to have them ready as close to them, so you don't have to keep switching everything out.
So, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, they take. It's probably an hour, there's so time in each one, roughly, so,
Oh, you're making them?
huh?
You guys are making them?
I made that,
Oh,
so we would make them, we're not gonna buy the bracket, so it's time to make them. So. I don't wanna-
Start making them.
I think maybe 15 every third.
Yeah, I think.
15?
Sounds like 15.
You said there's sponsors, because their name on that banner too.
Yeah, I should show this to everybody, huh? So this is kind of what we came up with. So the banners would have a space at the bottom, and I just use Plus Group as an example. But we would ask them for like just a solid black logo. And so everybody would have just a solid black logo with their company or whatever at the bottom.
What do you think of it?
Do they have something to ask you for that?
I mean, we haven't-
Adds
we haven't-
flavor too.
yeah, we did add that in.
That's the
I
cheapest
mean, it
part.
looks like maybe $200, but I don't know. 100%. Yeah, well, we did originally talk about like if we didn't have enough businesses that people could maybe do it themselves, but I think we should start with the businesses to make sure that they're represented.
Where are you gonna hang them?
On the light posts on Main Street.
Okay, don't you need a couple for the village hall, like out here somewhere?
We don't have brackets on these light poles.
Oh, okay,
These aren't our light, these are we energy light poles, so.
okay.
Any other questions? Okay, then we'll move on to 7A. I'd like to introduce resolution number 22-21 for Clem Godsucker to recognize his years of service as village trustee. I'll make a motion. We approve resolution 2021 and presentation of plaque for Clem Godsucker to recognize his years of service as village trustee.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Okay, yeah, should I read this first? Resolution 2022-21, expressing our appreciation to Clem Godsucker for his service as village trustee. Clem served as village trustee for 18 years, from 2003 to 2021. Clem has also served on numerous village committees and as a member of the Plan Commission during that tenure. Clem also served our community for many years as a member of the Melvin Wester American Legion Post 412, Belgium. Clem passed away on Sunday, August 29th, 2021. A celebration of life for Clem was held on September 18th, 2021 at 11 a.m. at Portview Church, Port Washington. Clem was a true community leader and served the village and all our citizens and displayed an outstanding commitment to serve the village. The village board, by this resolution, wishes to publicly express gratitude and great appreciation to Clem for the notorious service and dedication to the village of Belgium. Therefore, in recognition of Clem's many contributions to our village, community, and citizens, we hereby express our deep appreciation for his dedication to the progress of this community and extend to his family our sincere sympathy upon his passing. Therefore, be it resolved by the village of Belgium to honor the life and distinguished services of Clem Godsucker, and with a copy of the resolution to be presented to his wife, Joan.
This is the plaque that Joan is getting. Thank you very much for letting them come out and play with us.
Yes.
No action for 8A, 8B. To accept
We're on
9. Approve the consent agenda items 9A through 9F.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We'll move on to unfinished business, consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding 10A, review the proposed drafts and approval of ordinance 26-21 ATV UTV ordinance creating article IVA of chapter 262 of the Code of the Village of Belgium. Okay, in our packet, we have two versions. We have ordinance draft 1 and ordinance draft 2.
Before we go any further, can I make some comments?
Sure.
I believe, and I think that the 7 people here, I don't think we should speak for the entire village. I think we should put this on a referendum in April and let the people of the village decide whether they want this ordinance passed or not.
Wasn't that the whole point of them coming to the meetings? though?
We set up a meeting, an information meeting last week,
I
Monday,
feel
and
like that
2
was
people
the
showed
whole
up.
point of those.
So evidently not many people are concerned.
Well, you never know.
Well,
Well, then why did they
gave them a
show up?
chance.
I don't know where they were.
Okay, well, then I don't recommend that at all.
Okay, did you guys all look at the ordinance draft 1 and draft 2? Draft 2 has a couple notes on it, but they're pretty close to the same.
And the difference between them is I added a few things, nothing like great consequence. With regard to the signage, they have to consult with Danny or whoever that is in the role of PPW superintendent about where they go. Make it clear that they have to pay for the signs and maintain the signs. They can't use them on public parks or public sidewalks except for snow removal. They can't go on private property without permission, of the property owner. And just cleaning up the penalty provisions a little bit. I like mine better. I'm a little biased.
I did have a quick question, follow up on that. The way I'm reading this is the ordinance is basically trying to open up all the streets in the village to use them, but based on this, it's only, they can only use them where they actually have signage on the streets. So do we have any idea or any plans on what streets are going to be allowed and which are not?
Well, in my email, I don't know if Julie shared that with you. There, you can make all streets available, although they have to be signed, is that correct, Bob?
Well, normally, what they do throughout the whole state is they have one sign at the beginning of the entrance, let's say at LL from the north. They would say the village of Belgium, all streets are open to 18.
Okay.
And they're supposed to.
And
That's what they say.
if you do something other than all streets, then they'd have to post just the streets that are open. So it's not an all or nothing proposition. You can allow all, you can allow some. And then the other thing I mentioned, just to be aware of that, you can change the hours. This is what's being proposed by the club is 5 a.m. through 11 p.m. I've seen communities that are a little bit more restrictive in those hours, but again, it's your call.
Can we also restrict the ages of?
Nope, we
I'm
We
not
already
asking you,
discussed
I'm
that.
asking him.
already talked.
I saw one community that looks like they did that, but that I only saw one that limited it to, you had to have a driver's license.
That's pretty much
my
controlled
understanding from the
by
presentations
the
that.
DNR.
And personally, I think 5 AM is a little early. What is the logic behind wanting it
So
that
there's-
early?
There's a lot of municipalities that do have it 24 hours. The town of Belgium actually made that time commitment in there, and the reason it's 5 AM is because the few people that may want to go hunting in the morning is, or to work, or to church, or breakfast, or wherever, it's that early, that's why. And that's what the town of Belgium has, so it's easier to have community by community similar. Otherwise, when there's a whole plethora of different ordinance items,
Right.
well, we're different.
So Jerry, we need to pick one draft.
Yeah.
To start out with, right?
Right,
And yours is draft number 2?
I think so. So, Julie, is that? what-
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay,
I make a motion that we adopt ordinance draft number 2 for consideration tonight.
I'll second it.
Okay, motions are made and seconded. Any other discussion on which draft? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, now. So, all you guys up here, we have 6 supporting statements from businesses. You guys all read them?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, then I guess,
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 26-21 ATVU to be ordinance creating article that 4A, chapter 262 of the Code of the Village of Belgium.
I'll second.
motion's been made and seconded. All, any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay. And we'll move on to 10B. Approve increased spending for wastewater treatment plant valve replacement. Board approved $5,000 to $6,000 at October board meeting. Paul?
increase, this was for VFTs,
Correct.
For the valve. The valve is all done. The valve
Oh,
is,
I'm sorry.
no, it's just, so scratch that one.
She meant to have, this is for the VFD.
Yes.
She just
Okay.
wrote valve instead,
Oh,
but the
okay.
proposal is VFD.
Okay, and I should have read that too. But the price for the VFDs came in, I originally said, I think 12,000. Well, I
like everything else, everything went up in price, so I'm recommending the $15,000 package. And that'll tie into the new equipment that I have, that I just put in. It drives them down that are in there are 20 years old now, and they ran for 20 years straight. So the Eatons are the ones that I would recommend.
I'm looking at what you have here. It has the Eaton VFD price at 15.9, but then there's the option 1 panel view.
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
No. No, Brian and I had talked on just keeping it simple and.
Okay.
This is equipment replacement fund, so it does not impact his general budget, and there is money already in that fund for it, even with the increase.
I'll make a motion to approve the increased spending for wastewater treatment plant. VFD for $15,000. Motion's made and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, we'll move on to new business. Is there anyone here from Cedar Grove Belgium School? Okay, then we'll move on to 11B, which we're gonna have to table until December 13th meeting because official quote did not come in yet. And we'll move on to 11C. I'd like to introduce resolution number 27-21, adoption of 2022 general fund balance budget and establishing the 2021 tax levy for the Village of Belgium.
I move to accept resolution number 27-21, resolution adopting the 2022 general fund budget and establishing the 2021 tax levy for the Village of Belgium.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. 11D, approved 2022 TID budget, capital project fund and debt service fund and special revenue fund budget as recommended by Finance and Personnel Committee. Vicki, could you please explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so we have, anytime you have a separate fund, you're legally required to have an official budget approved. So our TID budget is for the tax incremental district. Capital projects fund, that's our fund that we have money set aside for our capital project schedule. Debt service fund is when we have general obligation bonds, they're generally required to be paid out of a separate fund. So we have to have a budget for it. It's basically money from either the TID or the general fund into the debt service fund, and then it pays the loans. And then the special revenue fund is our ARPA money, which we have in a separate fund so that it does not impact our expenditure restraint, which is what all the financial advisors and auditors are recommending villages do. So.
I move to approve the 2022 TID budget, capital project fund and debt service fund and special revenue fund budget as recommended by Finance and Personnel Committee.
Second.
Motions are made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, approve proposed 2022 water budget as recommended by the Public Utilities Committee.
I'll motion to approve the proposed 2022 water budget as recommended by the Public Utilities Committee.
I'll second.
Motions are made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to introduce resolution number 29-21, establishing sewer service charges as recommended by Public Utilities Committee to increase the sewer volume charge per thousand and septic and holding tank rates by 3% starting with the first quarter billing in 2022.
How high is this gonna get?
How high is it? We
The
have,
sewer charge.
we have to keep up. If,
Keep up with what? I'm paying $345 for two people,
yeah,
Danny knows how I complain all the time. What are you charging me for?
well, you know what? If our treatment plant gets out of date, you know how much money that's gonna cost?
I don't wanna know about it. I
No,
wanna know how
but
much are you
If we
increasing
don't
me now?
continue to keep up with
Do
it,
you want me to just shut off the water? And then I'll still be charged, won't I?
you'll have a minimum charge. We have to keep up with what we need to keep that treatment plant running. If we let that get out of date, it's gonna cost us millions,
Like court, like, oh,
you know?
But you got people here with social security. What are we supposed to do when I get a bill of 345? That's half my social security.
Sorry, I mean, we're all paying pretty close to the same, I think. And I think we're probably on the low
My
end.
son-in-law lives in Random Lake. He's got two girls who take baths that fill the water. They swim in the water. He doesn't pay half of what I pay.
It'll catch up to them eventually.
Yes.
That's not good enough for me now.
Well,
Going through a big
By the
expansion.
time it catches up, I'm dead.
you think that we should just hold off
Yes,
and let that treatment plant go down?
yes.
And
You're
well,
looking at
you're hoping that you're not around
$7
enough to pay for it.
You're looking at $7 million
I think that's
if
a
that's
start.
water treatment plant, or even more.
And the water isn't even good. We buy water.
It's not that we
It's not
wanna
the
raise
water
it,
that we drink.
have to keep up with the budget, like they said, if that goes down. Those costs of the water, it's nothing will be compared to replace that. We don't wanna do this, it's one of these we have to, it's a necessary evil.
But you talk to other places, they don't pay what we pay. Why? Explain that to me. Port Washington doesn't pay what I pay.
they will.
Grafton
They're
doesn't
going
pay.
to.
Washington is going to be
They're
paying
going
what
to.
you pay, and they're gonna up it by, I think, 35% or 45%.
But you say they are going to. I'm already paying it.
Cedar Grove's rates are higher than Belgium's.
What?
Cedar Grove's rates are higher than Belgium's. And I believe Gooseburg as well, because they just had a $7 million upgrade.
Well, the little increases we do are trying to avoid the giant increases of 30% or more. That will eventually come if we don't do these.
But you keep increasing extremely high.
What was the last one?
Vicky, do you have an estimate on what 3%
Yeah,
would
I'm
actually
sorry, I've
cost?
been digging through trying to find it. Give me a second.
I mean, it might be $10, $15 a bill a
I
quarter,
don't think it's that much.
maybe even not that much.
It's like, I want to say like $5 a year, but don't quote me on that until I pull it up. It's-
We're just doing this, I believe, isn't it just the sewer?
Just the
Nothing to do
actual
with the meter
usage
charge or
charge.
anything like
Yeah, I
that.
know, no, the meter is fine.
Well, that's where. a
It's
lot of your
everything else
charges-
that's charged, right? My water, my actual water is $65. I'm paying $345. That's half my social security. You want the whole thing? Next year, do you want my whole check? Where's this gonna end?
So the average annual cost increase for a household in the village is $16.97 per year because of this increase. That's on an average household. It sounds to me like your usage is much above average, actually, if your bill is in the 300s.
Danny, why is my water bill so high?
You're using the water.
Because I use the water.
That's the only way, there. And then meters are,
Your meter charge for sewer is $129. The water sewer meter charge is $29.50. So that's $159 approximately that you're paying for meter charges. All the rest of it is based on usage. So if you're paying in the 300s, you're using a lot of water for your household.
Something is wrong.
Well,
It's only two of us.
Do you have a water softener that's on the meter?
No,
Do you have a water softener at all?
no.
Anyway,
I'm a family of two and I have a water softener. And we pay on the average $240 some a quarter. And I watered my plants all summer long. And I think the highest bill I had was like $295.
Well,
So
I can bring
maybe,
you my bill. and
maybe
you can
somewhere you
show
have a
me.
leak.
No, Danny has checked several times. Right, Danny?
we checked quite a few times. I mean, and not saying that you could have a toilet leaking.
Right,
You would
right,
have to check
right.
that. I
But
mean,
in the past, when my bill has been very high, I have called you. You have checked it periodically. I don't have any leaks.
There's a lot of water.
Oh, yeah, I swim all the time in the tub.
I'm just saying, you're paying for it. I mean, you must be using it. There's no leaks.
There's no leaks.
I mean, I can stop over and check your toilet. if you want
No,
me
the last time you came, you charged me more.
to. Say we can do that.
Yes.
Did we make?
No.
No.
Okay, now make a motion. We approve resolution number 29-21, establishing sewer service charges as recommended by the Public Utilities Committee to increase the sewer volume charge per thousand and septic and holding tank rates to 3% starting the first quarter of 2022.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Approve proposed 2022 sewer budget as recommended by the Public Utilities Committee.
Motion to approve proposed 2022 sewer budget as recommended.
Oh. I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. 11H, approve authorization letter to request an official email address, Belgium, Wisconsin.gov, through the government's regulated domain name system per the Wisconsin Election Commission recommendation.
This is something that the Wisconsin Election Commission is basically requiring all municipalities in order to access the WISPO system, so that we do have a secure internet domain that's across the state. So much that we do to avoid this.
Move to approve authorization letter to request an official email address through the government's regulated domain name system.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Approve new operator license application for Alan Olson. I'll make a motion. We approve new operator license for Alan Olson.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Yeah, actually, have you taken a look at the backgrounds?
Yes.
Right.
There is no alcohol.
There is
And-
no conviction, but there's one pending.
Yeah.
Where is he gonna use this?
Trackside.
Oh,
I don't know if there's anything we can actually do because there's nothing alcohol related.
yeah.
As we've talked about in the past, there has to be a substantial relation between any violation and the license you're issuing, and there aren't any.
I second it.
Second. Okay, motions are made and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Discussion and possible action regarding meeting pay for village officials and village staff for attending public meetings. This is brought up from last Monday's meeting.
Our meeting pay ordinance specifies committee and board meetings. It doesn't have anything in there about public meetings. So the question was asked, is there pay? I don't know the answer because, I mean, if we go according to the ordinance, no, but you guys would have to take action on that if you want to.
How many public meetings have we had? Since I've been on the board, it's just been that one, but have there been?
When we were doing Main Street, there were some public meetings held for the Main Street project, but traditionally, all the board members did not attend those meetings. This is the first time we've ever had one of this type that I'm aware of.
Last week, Monday night, I asked for all trustees to be there. And so otherwise, like we had Park Street stuff, it wasn't asked if the trustees want to come or not. It was up to them. So.
Jerry, are there any issues with regard to the board taking action with it not being in the ordinance?
No, and I think based on what Pete just said, and I'd agree with this. You can call it what you want, but it was a function of the village board. It wasn't noticed as a village board meeting, but clearly the board was all there as part of the legislative function. So I don't see any problem with them being compensated, treating it as
So I would then say you could recommend either that we treat it as a village board or a committee of the whole meeting. And of course, that would determine the amount. If you wanted to, and if you don't, that's fine too.
I move to institute pay for public meetings for the board as committee of the whole.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Approve Park and Recreation Committee recommendation to have New Horizon Ventures LLC complete the design and engineering for the community park project. Which is,
Yeah, you guys have a proposal from you for, we want to do is we want to put a new bathroom facility up, a new shelter up, and remodel the refreshment stand. And we met with this Tom from New Horizon Ventures, and he proposed a quote here for designing everything, put the specs together for the sum of 20,000.
600.
We had Paul, a guy from the Belgian Lions, he came and designed everything, but we told him when we met down there, but he can't do nothing no more because he left his license go for his engineering and everything, so he can't draw no plans up for the state and everything, so. That's why we went with these, and we met with Donnie Miller, he's a carpenter and everything, contractor, and he's the one who gave us this guy's name. Donnie deals with them all the time.
So we just basically have just one quote on that.
He did say that he worked with, was it the Village of Grafton or Town of
Yeah,
Grafton to redo
The
theirs?
Village of Grafton,
also?
they just put some new buildings up and he designed their buildings.
Right.
is the committee comfortable with this guy?
I'm very comfortable with
Yeah, I don't think he's
Go on
gonna
it.
give you the runaround. It's me.
You didn't make the meeting. right?
Huh?
He's not on my
He is now.
committee yet. Okay,
He
he's
is now.
now.
If you guys do decide to approve this, I would recommend that you make it part of the motion that it be paid from the capital projects fund, which is where we have the money for this project, rather than from the general fund.
And I need to ask, where are we with that grant?
Well, that's the next agenda item.
Is it? Okay. so good. Oh, yeah.
I recommend that we approve the Park and Rec Committee recommendation to have the New Horizon Ventures LLC complete the design and engineering for the community park project out of the
Capital project.
capital projects.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Approve Park and Recreation Committee recommendation that the village apply for the tourism capital grant. Is there a sum on, a total on how much you could possibly get?
Well,
Yeah.
the tourism, grant allows people to apply up to, I want to say 3.6 million or something like that, but I
Yep.
believe that the total that they're looking to spend is 10 million or 10. Yeah, I think it's 10 million. So obviously, you can apply for a bigger amount. That doesn't mean you're going to get it. You know, but our project is obviously well within the 3.6 limit, so.
And they're looking for shovel ready and we're shovel ready.
Right.
And
Okay. I also understand there's some donations that might be given to the village toward that.
I don't know.
We don't have any official. word.
Nothing
I don't
official
know
yet?
what kind of conversations are happening, but.
It's hard to work with any of the community events until the plans are there and we know what the cost is. So now that you've approved the architect, that's gonna make it easier to go out and work with organizations.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Park and Recreation Committee recommendation that the village apply for the tourism capital grant.
Motions are made and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Approve Park and Recreation Committee recommendation to not monitor and remove books from the Little Free Library collection houses owned by the village.
To approve Park and Recreation Committee recommendation not to monitor and remove books from the little library collection houses owned by the village.
I'll second.
Motions are made and seconded. Any other discussion on this?
How many are owned by the village?
We have three.
Two.
we have two,
One
we have-
out here.
we have one and one at community park.
That's community park.
Oh, okay. Community park.
Right across the
And out
street.
here.
I mean, I think if concerned citizens want to monitor it, that's up to the citizenry to do so, but I don't think the village board can, engage in censorships.
I don't think they want to open that door on us.
No.
And it's for everyone. It's not just for little kids. And that's what people need to remember. And then there's also the personal responsibility of, as a parent, be personally responsible for your child or what your child is grabbing out of there. So that some of that has to come into play also.
Okay, motions are made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
Motion was made to adjourn and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed,
I know I was gonna see you here.
moving.